Good morning. Are we live? I think so. Should be a timer. So we are in my basement.
Yeah.
So she read the Crap Happens philosophy book. Let's see. And what did you think about it?
I appreciate it a lot because I'm dealing with some difficult relationships right now, and it's really hard to do that without support. And this book offers support because sometimes you just want to ignore the problems and you don't know how to deal with the crap in your life. But so many good ideas in here for how to face it and build up your confidence that we can all face the crap that we deal with in relationships or within ourselves, from the past or in the present or in the future.
So we were talking, and I was talking about the ideas of doing In the Basement as a series or something. Maybe once my son goes to preschool, who's napping in the other room, I can learn how to do Carroll Media Center and more than just my phone and Facebook Live. Let me find the basement in here.
And the basement's kind of like the idea, I don't know if you've heard of the iceberg concept of when we're having hard times in our lives, you see an iceberg above the water, but underneath there's actually a problem underneath the water you can't even see. So, deep within, facing the roots of our trauma and our problems is so important. Instead of, when you're in survival mode, sometimes you can't do that. But when you get to a place, when you have space mentally, when you have support, you can face those things. And it's like looking in the basement, right?
Yeah. And the idea is, so when something bad happens, we all kind of repress it. And Freud's whole entire, we don't deal with it. And it goes into so there's the conscious and the unconscious. And, it starts building up. So the book kind of goes into what happens when people don't cope. And then it starts, we have crap explosions. So that's somebody, having a temper tantrum or throwing a desk in school or something. And then we have crappy speakers or, my girlfriend Carolyn calls them diarrhea mouths. I heard her say that. I was like, yeah, it's like the crap's just coming right out. And you're like, yeah, this is all you. So we have being crap proof, where you can kind of, you don't get upset when people call you a name because it's not about you. So we can talk about the book more, but we have something very special here with us today. Let me see. I wonder if Facebook Live, if they switch words or if they're all backwards. I'll watch it later.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
But these, you can see,
either
there's
way.
not many words. But
that's exactly what I was thinking. So
yeah.
Whose amazing artwork is this?
This is my grandma's book that she made in 2000, I believe. And she's with Jesus right now. So I've been missing her a lot, but I have these gifts from her to just bring her back to life, and her poetry and her beauty and her inspiration to celebrate nature. And she would go for walks and collect beautiful things from nature, and she made a shadow box set up on her scanner printer. And she would use a box, and she would attach fabric or pretty paper to the top of the box, and she'd put all these beautiful found things in nature on the scanner and make these beautiful works of art. And you can see the shadows of the flowers, and it's just a beautiful way to enjoy life and just see beauty and celebrate her. Because
I love the photos. Yeah. She puts little secret things in here. I love it.
Yeah.
I so want to borrow this idea.
It's a great idea. You know what? I think I just got an inspiration to try it on my own because I do have a scanner, but I've
Yeah.
never tried it. And I love collecting art or nature and making art from it. There's lace on that one.
That's so
Yeah.
pretty.
I don't know if you see it, and there's ribbons.
And I love this
This is my
one.
favorite because it's the hibiscus. I love the hibiscus flower.
I love the idea of creating things that you can pass on. Like, that's why with Share Hip Through Art, I want to do compilation books. And there's different themes I want to do, but one of them is remembering their legacy. You know, so we can keep those memories and have an actual book we can give to our kids and great-grandkids and just keep everything on. I was like, people, I mean, that's just so pretty.
I remember you made books for your kids too.
Yeah, I made them little, just their birthday, not birthday books, their first year books, and I want to keep doing it. And I made them for all 4 of them. Wow. So my youngest 2, their first year, and then my future former stepdaughters, I made up to 13, and then went up to 16, those ages. So it's fun. It's like just curating keepsakes, and that's like one idea with this book is the end has share your story in it. So let me see what questions I ask. Quote over 400 people. I was like, it's almost like history, and it's almost like it'd be a great grammar book, like if you're teaching grammar, because you could have kids correct it.
Yeah.
I was like, so the idea is people can decorate any page, and then this is share your thoughts. So that, do you have a favorite flower, season, song, quote, saying, animal, place, something uniquely your favorite? How do you want to spend your time on Earth? How do you want to be remembered? Anything you want to share from someone older or a lesson to pass on? Anything else you want to share? And then year, president, leader, country, where you were from, where do you live, favorite TV show, share your favorite recipe, and a few blank spaces just to share stuff.
It's all about celebrating life.
Yeah.
And it's the opposite of the crap.
Right.
It's
so the idea
antidote to the crap.
It is. It's about like so the first stage, and like Prakoshka, I don't know if I'm saying his thing right. It's like there's a problem, and I guess like the first thing is saying, okay, there is a problem. It's saying, okay, there is crap. It's it happens. We don't have to hide about it. You know, yeah, we all got something. I have a page on crapping humanity where it's so the toilets you see. One is in Kenya. It's a church bathroom, that little square hole.
Oh, yeah.
So in Kenya you squat to, you know.
Yeah.
And then the one where there was like, I think it's called a duvet, like it's a sprayer.
Oh yeah.
So it's
French.
the
It sounds like a
track.
French word.
Yeah, that was in the Dubai airport because
Oh,
our
okay.
flight was canceled. And
yeah, do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're talking about this. So it happens everywhere. That's the Dubai airport over here. This is a Kenyan toilet.
You have to add some humor to it, right?
And then these toilets are actually in a toilet shop in Tawny Town.
You know, there's gold toilets. I saw a picture of a gold toilet.
Well, now this toilet, this one is nice because when the first thing they do in Kenya when they're building a house is dig a hole. Because a lot of the time it's just like a hole in the ground that's really deep. But then there's like spada pots, but that, you know, and yeah, it's just fascinating, the differences. And so it's like we all go somewhere, and but we all deal with our crap different. So there's actually a fact unknown in this book. So there's the word Ubuntu, not quite sure how to say it, but there's this amazing Facebook thing going around. And there's 500 pages, so if you think, yeah, it's hard to find things.
Yeah, I was going to suggest an index.
I should totally.
Would be really helpful. So
I did do an index in the new one where I
Yeah.
have, in the back, I have the crappy index.
Mm-hmm.
In the front, I do have a table of contents that has categories.
Table of contents. Maybe that'll help us find it.
But so I call them crafters because why not? So there's a lot of self-help books that aren't very funny, and I don't think most people are going to want to read them. Or they might.
Especially
They might.
teenagers. This is good for teenagers.
So this is like, or maybe potentially tween. And I'm going to probably alter it over the years to, we talk about taboo, controversial topics and not, tweens might have to hear it, but I don't think kindergarten has to hear it. I was kind of like, we do have to talk about all this stuff, but like, why worry a first grader about some of these issues? Like, it's just like, you know, we can wait a couple years, let them play, like, digging dirt and color, and, you know, I remember drawing heart people, like, let them do that in peace. Like, we don't have to bother them. And I think this is one of my favorite pages, The Crappy Pit of Despair. Because I don't think people really talk about it enough, where you think you're the only one that's been in this crappy pit of despair, where you can't think, you feel hopeless, you can actually physically be tired to move, like your body's like, your whole flexibility's gone and you're just tired, and doubt past happiness, despair, fear, like some of the lies, you think it's never going to get better, you feel alone, no one has ever felt this bad, you are a burden, you can't be helped. And then the truths I have listed are everything changes, even if you know no one, multiple hotlines for help and professionals, depression impacts nearly all families, so it's actually very normal, and you are not a burden alive, and you can be helped. And I have the suicide hotline, which is 1-800-273-8255. But I've been in the crappy pit of despair, and
yes, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, so I was like total strangers. We kind of like met on Facebook, but so we're not strangers anymore.
We just met.
Yeah, and now do you remember how I met you?
You were asking for people to share their art about Make a Sad Song Better. From the song Hey Jude.
Yes.
Which is one of my favorite songs because I grew up loving the Beatles.
Same.
And it's really cool that I can say that because music has been transcendent in my family.
I wonder if we can go live at your place next and you can do some songs.
Oh, wow. I would love to do that.
That would be so fun.
Really nice.
I know you like your piano.
We can play Hey Jude.
Oh my gosh.
We can sing Hey Jude.
The Hey Jude, my neighbors, they used to serenade it to me when I was a kid. So I'd go outside and I hear Hey Jude. So it's kind of like my theme song in life. But they take a sad song and make it better. I'm like, yeah, like that's, you know, we can take the crap, we can make it better. So the goal of this book is for all of us to deal with our own crap and have peace and healing and all that. And I try to actually have quotes in here I disagree with, because I'm like, yeah, it's not about like I'm a Christian, but it's not about Christian. It's about looking over our religious and political views to just kind of be like, we want healing, and we want you to do your healing journey. You don't have to do ours. We will share ours, but it's up to you to take whatever journey and go whichever way universe leads you. I think that's a neutral word.
I know.
Some people think the universe has no involvement, so however science, I don't know, however you feel led, or I don't know if feelings are even neutral or not.
I think so.
I hope so.
Everybody has feelings, so I think we can acknowledge that.
I'd say almost everybody, because then you have the DSM, or some people don't have feelings, but
oh wow,
psychopaths. I know, right? There's nothing that encompasses everybody.
Wow, I didn't even realize that.
I know, right? So
I don't watch all those horror movies because I
the
can't handle
DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual, keeps getting updated, and then there's this. Actually, there's this movement called MAD. What is it? It's like it's MAD, but it's like people that, because I'm a peer and I'm a survivor. Like I'm actually in mental health treatment, but I'm a survivor. Like I'm like. I have bipolar, it doesn't have me. Like, it's just something I deal with. Like, everyone deals with something. So it's not like that big of a... Yeah. It's not, yes, it's changed my life, but it's not that big of a deal. It's,
But it's not running your life.
It's not exactly. Mm-hmm. I went to the Human Library. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I don't think I've heard of that.
So it started in Norway, I think, and they just did it at McDaniel College with Carroll County Library, and there were all these tables set up, and you had a little page, and you got to go check out a book, and that person just shared their story. So there's all these stereotypes. So you go talk to someone that fits that stereotype that volunteered, and they share. So I actually went to somebody who was, don't call me crazy or something like that. And she said, I am bipolar. And I was like, well, I just have it. Like, it doesn't have me, though, because that's not a unique saying.
Yeah, and what I would say to that is that everybody has things about them that they don't like. Everybody messes up and makes mistakes, or maybe you did it on purpose. Maybe you did something bad on purpose. But should we put that up on a beautiful frame on our wall? That's how I like to think of it. Like, no, let's not focus on the worst parts of us and our disabilities, but focus on our abilities. So I know it's different when making mistakes and disabilities are different, but so I think it's better probably to focus on the disability aspect. But when I was dealing with my chronic illness, and I still have struggles with that, that helped me a lot to just think not what I can't do each day, because there's so many things I could count every day that I couldn't do. But if I said, okay, maybe just one step at a time, maybe I can't walk up the giant hill because I get breathless, but I can walk one step out of my door and one step back. And that's actually something my grandma told me about. And her name is Helen Peterson, and she's with Jesus now. But when she was having an illness, that's what she felt inspired to do. Just one step out. But she said, once you take one step out of your door, you have to take one step back. So it's really 2 steps.
That's awesome.
2 steps out, 2 steps back. Just a little more every day to challenge yourself, because it's worth it, and you're worth it. Even if there are things you think, nah, way too much, you can get there.
Yeah.
So that's what I think, and I think we should put that up on the wall. You know, I walked 1 step today. I had one conversation with a friend about something that really mattered.
Yeah.
And is hard for a lot of people to talk about. Because we've done the work.
Right.
Maybe you haven't done the work, and maybe this is hard for you to talk about. But you can do it, and if we can do it, you can do it.
Exactly. And so the idea I actually am borrowing from is when I was in middle school and then some years in high school, I volunteered at Camp Green Top. My best friend's dad was the director, and it's a camp in Thurmont, Cunningham Falls area that has people with mental and physical disabilities. And this one man, when I was like 16 or 17, he had a headpiece on, and he pointed out and spelled on his headboard, so he had the letters and everything, I have CP, but it doesn't have me. So I was, saying what he said, but it was just kind of like, and this man's actually a tested chess champion. But he can't move his body at all. He can move his head. And it was just very eye-opening. And, 20 plus years later, I'm still diagnosed, what's the right word? Digesting what he said. Like the whole idea of, yeah, we all have something. I mean, his was much more obvious, So it's just kind of when you see somebody, you're just kind of you see somebody in a wheelchair totally unable, their brain might be so much smarter than yours.
Yeah,
he's
really to be a chess champion. So how did he make the pieces move? So I didn't see
there
was some kind of,
but I know he's a tested genius and
technology that helped him.
Well, somebody could move him for him where he can, I'm sure there's a board type of thing where you can say the pieces or whatever. But
that's amazing. Technology is really cool.
Yeah, but it's they tested him, and he said he's an actual genius. They were able to, and you're just kind of so you see somebody, and you're just I have no idea how smart they are, You never know. Certain stereotypes, you just don't. So we are in the basement, and I guess this is an idea, and we don't have anyone. I can finish it, and then I think it just saves on the Facebook page. So you can see, if there's a 1 or a 2, you can see if someone's watching.
Yeah, no one's on live, but that's okay
because
we're alive. You're alive if you're watching later.
So if you guys like the idea of in your basement or in our basement, and we may not stay in basements because we're not moving a piano in a basement. That's just, practical. And but the whole idea of kind of doing Share Hope. We're on Share Hope Through Art's page right now because I'm like, it is about hope. And this book is actually, it sounds crappy, but this version is really actually about hope. And it's about, let me see if I can find the crap facts. I love my crap facts. Crap happens to us all. Life is not fair. Crap and failure are normal. You can only give what you have. Only you can change yourself. Crap does not discriminate. No one is perfect, but we each matter. It's your job to make you happy. Be kind. Crap has unintended consequences. So, let's not be crappy together. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.